Niagara is standing this season at Cambridge's The Oak Stud, which sees a shift north for the sire from his original base in the Hawke's Bay. I caught up with Rick Williams to see how Niagara is progressing in his 4th season at stud. There's no suggestion of any falls when it comes to newly relocated The Oak Stud stallion Niagara. In fact, the outlook is only for gains as the Encosta de Largo sire prepares to take benefit from a shift closer to the Waikato broodmare population. Retired to Greg and Joe Griffin's Line Country thoroughbreds near Hastings in 2013, Niagara has served books of more than 100 mares in each of his first 3 seasons at stud. And the Oak Stud General Manager Rick Williams says nothing is changing at his new home.
Usually the 4th year is the toughest. He's been interesting this year because he's come to the Waikato, and of course a lot of people hadn't seen him, and while they're aware he's a 4th season stallion, they seem keen to back him, and I've been really pleased with the bookings. I can already say he'll cover over 100 mares this year. Joe and Greg have done all the hard yards on him, and so I'm just really following along, and I'm lucky that early reports are good from breakers and trainers, and there's a positive vibe about him at this stage, so that seems to look as though it'll carry on through this year, and then of course after that it's over to him. It's a terrific syndicate in Niagara, I might add, and they're all enthusiastic, and a lot of them interestingly have kept their horses for the ready to run sale, so I think you'll see a much bigger draft at the ready to run sale than you saw in our yearling sales. And the Oak Stud, we've had a good look, and we've committed 18 mares to him this year, which is a risk year, but I'm happy with what I've seen, and now it's all over the horse.
Niagara was a Group 2 winning racehorse and hails from a strong female family that has produced stallions the quality of Redute's Choice, El Mahir, Umatilla, Hurricane Sky, Manhattan Rain and Platinum Scissors.
He's a real Encosta. He's big, strong quartered horse, and he was a $620,000 yearling at the Magic Million sales. So he was obviously very good looking. I just love his pedigree. He's got a very unique pedigree pattern, a couple of close-up sons and daughters of Danzig, Mr. P, and about 4 strains of Northern Dancer, so they're the sort of 3 big sires in the last 50 years in world racing, and they're all there. And his second dam's the daughter of Danehill, which makes him easy to mate with Danehill mares, and of course he's from the family of Redute's Choice and El Mahir and Umatilla and Manhattan Rain, interestingly enough, as a young sire going places behind Costa de Largo out of the same family. So he's a very easy horse to work with physically and pedigree-wise.
What sort of mares does he suit best?
Pretty much anything because of that line breeding he's got, and the daughter of Danehill. A lot of you getting sons of Danehill over Danehill daughter mares, and you get pretty blocked up, but he offers that opposite sex balance, so he's a horse that you can make pretty much anywhere.
Niagara's first crop of foals are now 2-year-olds, and Williams has high hopes the stallion has passed on his own racetrack ability.
He beat the older horses at weight for age in the Ajax Stakes by 3.5 lengths, and that took a bit of doing, and you've got to remember he ended up with a time form rating of 121 in a year. There was Fox Wedge, Sepoy, Smart Missile, Helmet, I think. They were the only 4 above him, and he ended up actually being rated above Ocean Park as a 3-year-old. So he was a smart horse.
What sort of expectations do you have for his progeny, given the quality of mare he has served?
Well, I don't see why the way Joe and Greg mated him. I've had a good look at a lot of his progeny. I did the weanling walk, and I've got around as many of the 2-year-olds as I can see up here. And the way they mated them into some quick mares, so I don't see why he can't come up with a pre-Christmas 2-year-old. I wouldn't expect that to be the norm, but certainly on his own racing career, I guess autumn 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds is what you'd expect. The quality of the mares aren't in doubt. If he's as good a stallion as his genetic makeup suggests he'll do the job off there.
Yeah, we spoke about him beginning his career in the Hawke's Bay, now in Waikato. What's his future?
His future, he's at the Oak Stud as long as he performs, obviously, and like any other stallion that doesn't perform, they get placed elsewhere. But no, at the moment he'll be staying at the Oak, so I understand Greg conditions such that he won't be handling stallions for the rest of his career. So we're happy to have him. Joe and Greg are still very much involved in the horse and help promote him, and a lot of their clients have come here because of them, so we're just working together on them. It's just a different locality, that's all.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of positive points around this horse.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's one of the good things. I mean, we all know stallions can come from anywhere, and this fella genetically's got it, and he was a very high-class racehorse, so there's no reason why he won't succeed.
Niagara is standing his first season at the Oak Stud at $5,000 plus GST.
Well, he's always stood at 5,000, and often in the 4th year I drop him, but his sale ring results have been exceptional right throughout New Zealand and Australia. Off a 5,000 service fee, so we've left him at that this year, and that's worked. People are still coming at that fee, so we'll leave him at that and see what the year brings and think about things next year.
Yes, Niagara looks like he's enjoying the Waikato, and breeders are continuing to support the stallion at stud. It's time now for this week's Pedigree of the Week.
The Carter siblings have enjoyed many a good day at the racetrack, but few to match Manawatu Sires Produce Stakes Day at Awapuni this year. Not only did John, Mark and Rachel Carter breed and race Group 3 Manawatu Classic winner Humidor, a Teofilo gelding who has since been Group 1 placed in the Livermore Classic at Hastings, but they also breed and race Luna Rossa, who produced a phenomenal run from last to snare the feature, the Group 1 Manawatu Sires Produce Stakes. Luna Rossa's win for trainers Murray Baker and Andrew Forsman and jockey Lisa Allpress capped a memorable 15-year journey for the Carters that began with the purchase of Danehill mare Emerald Dream, a Group 1 Whakanui Stud International Stakes winner out of the same stable. That success sealed the Carters' future in breeding and racing, and their Jamara bloodstock, named using the first two letters of each sibling's name, now owns 13 broodmares and stands the Zabeel Stallion Z that they bred from Emerald Dream. It was the hunt for mares to support Z that led the Carters to buying more than ready mare Wild Promises at the Gold Coast sales, on the advice of bloodstock agent Bruce Perry. They were able to secure Wild Promises for $52,500 in foal to Written Tycoon, and the resulting foal was Luna Rossa, though tragically they lost their broodmare during foaling. Wild Promises is a half-sister to twice Group 2 placed Red Ransom mare Red Fez, and hails from the same family as Group 1 Caulfield Guineas winner Shooting to Win, and his Group 2 winning brother Deep Field. Their stakes-winning dam Listen Here, and Singapore Group 1 Raffles Cup runner-up Spectro Power. Luna Rossa is currently campaigning in Melbourne, where she's already finished second in the Group 2000 Guineas Prelude. She's largely bred on an outcross, though does have 4 strains of Northern Dancer in her first 7 generations, 2 in her first 5 removes.
That brings this week's show to a close. Join me next week when we take a look at the first crop of foals by Sacred Falls and El Roca, and check out El Hermano at Cheval Stud. See you all then.